Oh yeah, you might be muted.
Can you guys hear me now? Hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just was muted.
Okay.
So I think it's okay now.
Well, welcome.
No,
I'll
so you
repeat
could
this
start over.
all over. No wonder we started early. Deb Sheppard live on June 8th, 11/11. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Live. So have some shout outs of where you're from, your first name. I will do readings. Let us know if this is your first time. Dana usually recognizes the names if you followed us before. But behind all these cameras,
love seeing everybody that continues to join. Yeah.
She's managing all the technology, which I really do believe is more difficult than connecting with people who crossed over. Just saying.
Well, Elizabeth is helping me today. Thank goodness.
Hi, Miss Elizabeth.
Because last week
it was a challenge.
A little challenging, yes. We got Nancy DeSante from Centennial, Colorado.
Woo woo.
Kristen Collins up in Arvada. Let's see. Becca Farmer says blessings to you both on this Wednesday. Heather from Littleton. If you want us to see who you are, you do have to give us permission to see your name on this platform. So there should have been a message that popped up to allow us to see you. So there's some of you on here. It just says Facebook user because that's a StreamYard thing. If you want us to see you, you definitely have to enter your name for that.
Should we do this? I see you.
I know. Hi, Marcy Medina. I think she's up north, Westminster.
Happy birthday.
Somewhere.
She just had her 50th.
Mm-hmm. We got Laura from Central Texas.
Wow.
Gina from Oklahoma. So lots of shout outs.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody.
Thank
Blessings from Florida from Facebook user. Mary says it's hot in Houston, or maybe she's hot in Houston. I don't know which one. Liz from Napa.
Oh, one of our favorite places. We're going to Monterey the end of this month. So if you live near there, we are doing some events in Monterey.
Yeah. Jessica from Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah. Don't you like saying that name?
Savannah? Mm-hmm.
Savannah.
Lynn Garza, formerly from Colorado, now Georgia.
Yes, she was a former student.
So I heard Georgia, she's a Georgia peach now.
That's right.
Georgia must be hot right now.
Humid.
Yeah. So, and then on Instagram, we got 77 Zena from Central Illinois. Tony New watching on Instagram. Hi, Tony.
Tony's a good friend.
Stevie from Stevie High 18, first time joining from England.
Wow.
Annette from Raleigh, North Carolina. Tracy, she said her name is Janie. She's had 3 experiences with you and they were the best ever.
Thank you.
Love it. Denise from Henderson, Nevada.
Wow.
Let's see.
Lots of people
first time from Denver, Charlotte. Annette says, I'm awesome. Well, thank you. I guess because I make it possible for people to see you. That's why I'm awesome. Zelani 312 from Morrison, Colorado.
Morrison, that's a nice place.
Nancy DeSanti said, I really enjoyed getting your 3 days of emails on dreams. Thank you. That's on your website. So anyone who wants a free 3-day masterclass can just jump on your website and join your email list, and they get 3 days of dream interpretation with meditations and everything. So
I'm pretty amazing.
I guess.
Dana does all these things with my permission and gets all these things done. So I am told this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to. So tell us all your wisdom, and then Dana takes it from there.
Yeah, and you did a lot of wisdom on your dream interpretation.
Yeah, I love doing dream interpretation. So yes.
Awesome. Well, people are still joining, but I know you have a topic this past week's podcast.
Yes.
Which here are your notes, Deb Sheppard. Making things possible.
Everyone needs a data, just so you know.
And we will be doing readings here after the topic, and we always grab a couple people, bring them on, and you do several readings.
Mm-hmm. So if this is your first time or you want a reading, right now, don't bombard with all of that information. Just wait until we give you the green flag or thumbs up, right?
Well, we randomly choose a couple people for readings, and I'd like to grab a couple people right now If you want to enter in the name of the first name of the person you want to talk with and what their relationship is to you, then Elizabeth and I can coordinate that real fast.
And Elizabeth is another partner in crime with us.
Yay.
Helping.
We have Joanne C., who's on YouTube.
We know Joanne. Is that our Joanna?
I don't know if that. Okay. I don't think it's Joanna. It's Joanne C. She's on YouTube. She's here in Colorado. Lori Eisen would love a reading. She's on YouTube as well. So it's just fun to see how many different people come on.
And we like to say if it's a child or someone in your children's generation, to give us the age. It just helps me during these lives when I'm doing a private writing reading or in a large audience. I don't ask for that information, but we just try to get through as many as possible. Mm-hmm. But Monday we launched the podcast called
Cord Cutting.
Cord Cutting. Not enough caffeine yet this morning. Cord cutting. And you may have heard of this before, or the term. And what it's really good for is when there's things in your life that you feel like you keep being pulled back, or someone keeps taking your energy, or you keep referring or telling a story from years ago. That story no longer is your identity. And sometimes you set yourself up as a victim or feeling as if, you can't, release some of that energy. And in order to move forward in life, sometimes it's important that we do some cord cutting. And that basically is doing a ritual, which we share in the podcast, that allows you to release that story, that individual, whatever occurred during that time. And it doesn't mean you wish bad things for this situation. What you're doing is you're allowing that to not take energy from you, and for you to let them go find their own way. And whether it's been, a boss or a coworker, a neighbor, a teacher, a parent, a partner, any of those things in your life where you just feel like it just keeps showing up and you keep feeling it and your mind seems to go back to that information. And then there's times where you just feel really sad and you feel like the energy is being sucked away from you. So how many times have we been in a situation where we feel like, boy, they just sucked the life out of me? And so cord cutting can be done as often as you need or just once in a while, depending on your circumstances. Do you have something to share?
Just a question. Mary Dooley, is it okay to cut cords with your husband if he's negative and draining, you're still planning to remain married?
Absolutely. And part of that is you're not trying to get negative things to happen or leave a relationship. You're just saying, don't take mine. So the other part of this is creating boundaries. So even though you can do a cord cutting, you still want to create boundaries if they are sucking the life out of you, basically. You may want to learn to have some techniques how you turn a conversation around or ask them a question that kind of shifts the way their perspective is. And also letting them know how it makes you feel when they go into that place. And most people don't want to hurt another individual. And if they realize that energy is doing that, just giving them some techniques and ways to shift the way they're presenting their story. If you're a healer and you're always trying to help everybody, people will dump on you because you take it on and they don't want to carry it themselves, so they give it to you. And that's what you want to look at is, do you want to carry their weight of the world? There's nothing wrong with holding space or being there for somebody, but at the same time, it's not yours to take. It's up for them to take on that responsibility. What happens many times is when they give away their negative energy, they don't have to make changes. But if they're holding on to that negative energy, eventually you're hoping that they want to change. And that's what the cord cutting helps is, this is yours to deal with. Don't let me take on those pieces of yours where it drains me.
Gina's asking, creating boundaries after cord cutting has been a big struggle for her.
So people that are always those givers and healers, they have a tendency to feel guilty if they set boundaries. And we need to have boundaries in our society for sure. I mean, we've looked at #MeToo, in the last few years. So boundaries are incredibly important. And the way you say it is not that it's pointing a finger at them, but just say, for me, this is what I need. Does that make sense? So you're making it about yourself and what it does to you. So creating those boundaries is not making a conflict with that individual unless you need to get there. You're not hurting their feelings if they're not getting it. If they're not getting it, they sometimes need that 2x4. So, crossing your arms, turning sideways, maybe again, like the other person was asking about her husband, just learn how to shift that conversation. If that same person has that same energy, be prepared, like saying, thanks for sharing, but this doesn't work for me, or this just weighs me down. So have things to say in replacement of the things that have been happening. Because when you create a platform, a foundation, that's the relationship. So it's up to you to change it, even though you may be verbal.
And Deb loves answering questions. So type your questions in. We'll answer as many as possible. Nicole on Facebook, do you contact the Archangel Michael to do a cord cut, or do you have to, I guess
No.
is
I think whatever, so if your religion is, Jewish or Catholic or whatever that faith is, bring that, or Buddhist, bring whatever faith that you believe in to help you with that. Again, you don't need to, but if you feel like there's more power behind it and you want the help to really cut that cord, absolutely. It's whatever you need to be able to stand in that power and say, I'm no longer taking this energy from you.
Tammy on Instagram, how do you do that with a job?
And Dana says it so casually. I think for the job, if you feel like you need to stay in that career for whatever the reasons are, then every time you leave that job, to really start on the way home, unless you're working from home, is begin cutting that cord every day and releasing that energy. And imagine it going into a box with a ribbon on it, or whatever you want to imagine, so that it doesn't carry it home with you. And then when you go back to work, you have a fresh start. If you keep thinking about the job and what so-and-so is doing, or how they're managing it, or whatever the drama is trying to give yourself, again, replacing those thoughts. So, reading things that have positive affirmations. I love humor, listening to humor to release that. Being in nature, being creative, whatever you can do to distract yourself from what's going on in that career. And, careers are something that it's a necessity for most of us to have a career or a job. But there's also ways that you can say, I'm just 9 to 5 or whatever your time is, and say, I'm not going to think about it anymore. I would also recommend during the day, if you have a lunch or a break, do a cord cutting then too. Just constantly do it so you feel like you're not attached to that energy that you're trying to remove.
Okay. One more question on this. Do you think age makes it easier to cut the cord? As you get older, you stop caring about
well, that was,
I
was just saying, like, did you get older? You're like, yeah, I don't want to have that energy anymore. I'm going to kind of just, not be available, or whatever you need. Yeah, I actually do think it's easier. However, I think if young people can learn this earlier on, they won't have to heal these things later in their life. They can do it earlier. Not that these things still don't come up. I mean, I remember things in my, my teens and my 20s and 30s that I still revisit, going, I don't want to hang into that anymore. It's just whether, younger people are willing to say, yes, I want to break that cord.
Mm-hmm. You want another question, or would you like to start
whatever you
reading?
guys?
Okay.
You guys are the producers.
The producers. So I want to ask Terry Anderley, who wants to connect with her friend Michael, to go ahead and send a message to Elizabeth. And the email address is on the screen, elizabeth@debsheppard.com. Terry, just send her a quick email so she can send you a link so you can join the live session. And make sure you're sitting when you come on so we can bring you on live pretty quickly.
No dancing around the house in your
no
underwear.
Walking, no. And
remember, you're on film.
And in the meantime, let's talk about how you get messages for all the new people. And we're going to bring somebody on for a mini reading from Instagram first.
Okay. So everyone has different techniques and abilities that do this work. For me, I'm an empath, which means I feel the information. So when you mentioned Michael, I got a little sense of humor. That first thing came through, like a smile on his face. And it could be his personality, or just being, showing up today, whatever that can be. But I hear, see, taste, and smell. So I might be able to see a vision or a movie or something from my past that is related to something for my sitter, the person that's getting the reading. I can taste things. I taste, pastas and meats and things like that, sugar for sure, and alcohol. And then I can feel in my body maybe how they crossed or their personality traits. I feel images that help me understand the relationship between them, the both of them. And I see like how they're related to you as well and what that relationship was like.
All right.
We had someone knocking on the door, so I got a little distracted. Sorry.
Someone is in Roomba.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So on Instagram, the reading is for Janie, and she wants to connect with her mom, Helen.
Okay.
And before you start, Nicole Ann on Facebook, can you send an email also? We'd like to see about bringing you on with Deb live. And that is Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. So Deb, you're on.
Okay. So I'm talking to Janie
and her mom, Helen.
Okay. The first thing I got with your mom is just a soulful energy, but I also feel like your mom could be not so much tough on you, but definitely had her opinion. She wasn't a wallflower. She didn't play small, those kind of things. But I also feel like she was probably sick. My body feels very weak before I cross over. So I feel fragile, weak. And I feel that, that maybe you took care of her or there was a lot of care for her near the end of her life. She's apologizing as well by saying, I know it wasn't always easy, but I appreciate the choices you made. So maybe you had to make some tough choices or the family did. And she's also saying, get rid of the guilt. And I get this a lot in readings where someone just is scared, like, did I do enough? Maybe I didn't see her before she passed. Maybe I should have done things differently. And your mom is just like, don't go down that rabbit hole. So she's okay. She's there with, I don't know if your dad's passed, but I'm getting a male with her. And I'm also getting a medium-sized dog. So this could be yours or someone in your family. But she says, she uses the word, I am A-OK. So I don't know if that's the things that she said or she really wanted to express it. But she is okay. And I'm getting issues with my throat for her too. So this could have been eating or speaking near the end.
Would really love for you to share your validation when you receive a reading too, because it helps Deb and it helps others see the reading as well.
And I didn't mean to clean the glass.
Just bang it down.
Just bang it down.
And then another little reading here.
You notice I match
and a
today?
Question. You do match. You match the wall.
Do I blend in? Like, when people wear, what color is it when people blend in? Is it orange? Dana's really focused. Sorry, everyone. I
completely missed that joke, but I heard it afterwards. Patty has a question.
Okay.
Can a dog be someone that has passed away?
I'm going to say no, Patty, but that doesn't mean I'm 100% correct. It might be that your dog is bringing through essence or energy from someone who passed, and they're that connected. I also believe that pets or certain animals are part of our soul group. So you may feel that sort of familiar, say that word for me, familiarity.
Familiarity.
in that animal. It's interesting that you asked that question. I had a beautiful dog that lived actually 19 years. It was a golden retriever. And I would love to have that dog come back in, another animal. I don't think it's happened yet, but I think anything is possible. So if you feel that and it resonates with you, absolutely. I have not seen it happen, but it doesn't mean that it can't.
Right.
I never say, I do say absolutely not on some things, but this one here, I'm like, I still, the people that do this work, including me, we don't know everything or the answers, and we shouldn't. We're still having an earthly experience. And so if someone, so we should still come from the place of not always knowing everything.
Right.
In my opinion. Be humble.
Let's see. The Talking Jamie, you are on Instagram. That's your Instagram handle. You did not enter the name of your dad. If you can do that real fast.
So this is a different Jamie?
We can circle back around. Yeah. So we have Terry.
Okay.
And I think Terry is ready to come on with you. Michael. Yeah. So we're going to bring her on. She's sitting and ready to go.
Yay. Terry, you can take directions well. We love it. It helps us.
You're on it, Deb, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi.
How are you doing today? Yeah, we can. Are you a little nervous?
A little bit.
That's okay, breathe. I feel like I feel like Michael was one of those individuals that it's like a brother from another mother, but also there's a relationship that was like I feel like you could share almost anything with him. Does that make sense?
Does.
Yeah,
It does.
you have to answer since you are online.
You're a little bit muted. We can't hear you very well.
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me now?
That helps, yeah.
He says you guys would have never worked as partners, but you understand what that means?
Yes.
Okay. He just goes, we couldn't be a couple, and you understand why. So to me, it feels like a story that the two of you would understand. Was he kind of sick before he passed?
No.
Is he sick? Why do I feel hurt? I feel hurt. So was this an unexpected death for you?
It was.
Okay, I feel something else going on before he died. So whether this was depression or, high blood pressure, I feel like there's something else going on before his death. Does that make sense too?
Yes.
Is it just delayed?
There might be a little delay, but she was thinking.
Okay.
She's trying to.
So and how did he die? Maybe that will make it easier for me to explain.
He was shot.
Okay. By somebody else, not him.
Right.
Okay. Because I was feeling like an unexpected passing that way. So I agree with you. There was nothing going on beforehand. So this might be wrong place, wrong time, wrong situation. But I also feel like he was a really good guy. He's one of those guys you could call at 2 a.m. He would show up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he also says, I heart you. And was his death also in the paper or in the news?
It was.
And he says that was this a shooting of more than one person?
Somebody else. The person attempted to shoot somebody else a couple days before.
Okay, so this person had a history or other things were happening. I still get Michael feeling. Did Michael know this individual?
No.
Okay, because I'm just trying to figure out why this. I'm going to tell you something that, because this is a quick reading, my sense about him is, how can I put this? Do you feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions?
Yes.
Okay. I keep getting like not a full story from him. When that happens, there's times I go, I think there's still things that haven't been put in where you have a complete answer, like, why did this happen? He's letting you know that, hey, he didn't expect this to happen. He still feels young. He's laughing about actually being here today. So a sense of whether he believed this or not, like, hey, Terry, I can't believe you brought me on here. And he also says that you miss him very, very much and that you talk to him often. Do you understand?
I do.
And he says you have a picture of him that you are a little, maybe not a shrine, but a little area where it's all about Michael.
I do.
Okay. He knows this. My confusion about his death might be a big, because if the shooter was sick or the shooter had things going on or you don't have all the answers, that might be why I'm getting it kind of broken up. Okay. But he is okay. Is your dad passed too, Terry?
No.
Is it his dad? Because I'm seeing an older male.
Yes, his dad was passed.
Okay. So he's there with his father to let you know for validation. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm so sorry. I can tell it really hurts your heart.
It does.
What do you want to ask him?
I just want to ask him if he's around, because he was around for the first year, and I don't sense him as much. So
that's only because the second year your grief changes, and so you're not feeling the connection. He is a strong person. Me not getting everything right on could be just about things about his passing that is not as clear, and just my own interpretation. But Michael's still around very much.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for coming on and being brave. And I'm sorry, but I really like Michael.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So that didn't hit it right on the nail on the head, but that's okay. Keep on going.
All right. We have, let's see. Let's see if that happened. Tracy Janey on Instagram wants to connect with her mom, Helen.
Where do you get? Is that a different Helen? Jamie Helen, Tracy Helen? Are they the same mom?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay. I'm like, okay, we have two mothers that are Helens. Okay, let me see if I can get to this Helen. Big heart, as I'm getting here. There's something about children, like maybe grandchildren or someone, new beginnings, or children from Helen or from your family after the death of Helen. She also, or things are like maybe there is new beginnings, or a child's going to be coming to fruition here. Someone's pregnant. And she's also saying that I'm not sure she was a believer of some of this work. Like this was like, oh, I'm not sure if you really should trust mediums and psychics. But she's also talking about the bracelet or watch that someone has that is part of hers, or they're trying to get this. She's also feeling like she was, I feel like she trained herself, or she stood on her own 2 feet. Maybe things in her life when she was younger was more challenging, but then she found her own way and stood in her power. But I don't think things were always easy for Helen. And this may have been passed down to you, Tracy. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a sense of she had a lot of work to have to do in her life.
Love to hear the validations on that too.
The 2 Helens, I had to go, okay.
There were 2 different Helens.
Like, wow.
And Nicole is on with us now, so we're going to bring her on
Nicole,
the live stream.
Okay.
And I'm reading through the messages from Elizabeth, and I can't remember who she's connecting with, but she'll tell you.
Okay.
So here is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello, can you hear us? Your mic is not on. So we can't hear you yet. Yep, you're muted on your screen. Hello. All right. Well, while Nicole figures that out,
I'm really proud of you
give her a
multitasking
second.
here.
I'm not sure of say something, Nicole. Nope, can't hear you. Go ahead and jump out and come back in. And Nicole wants to connect with her best friend, Quinn. That's who she wants to connect with. So
is Quinn a man or a woman?
I am not sure, but we can circle back with this. Okay. On Instagram, hopefully she's still on. Her Instagram tag is doing this by myself. And she wants to connect with her brother, Brian. Messages come through so fast sometimes. We've got to catch up with them.
Okay.
So a real quick one, and then we'll try to bring Nicole on again. She's back in.
I feel like Brian's death was more unexpected as well. My heart really hurts with the loss of Brian. You don't know who this person's name is that's asking about Brian?
I don't.
Okay. The feeling I get here is it reminds me of my cousin that, died in his sleep. Not that this was Brian, but just had a really unexpected death, and people were very surprised about it. He's also feeling as if sometimes, I feel like he struggled at times in life. He may have struggled to find out, who he was, or what should happen with him. I feel like he was also just a good soul. I'm getting a sense of humor. There's a little bit of creativity with him, but he's also showing me lots of numbers, like a sense of, he could be left brain, but I also feel like there's a creativity to him. And he is also saying, I feel like there may be some guilt in some conversations you had with him near the end, or a feeling of not being there. And he's just saying, don't even go down that, don't go there. I'm okay. And I just keep getting, I'm fine. I keep getting with his hands, I'm fine. So maybe that's one of his gestures. Let us know if that makes any sense.
Okay. And I don't know where Nicole went. Her screen is on and she's disappeared on me.
Okay. It seems to be a challenge.
I am not sure. Well, let's try this again, Nicole. I think she's trying to put on earphones or something. So hopefully we can hear you. All right, get yourself settled. Okay, try talking. Let's see if you've got a mic this time. Nicole. Okay, we can hear you. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. I don't think she can hear us. All right, so we're having too many problems with that. So do you want to just do a quick reading on Quinn?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I don't know if it's a male or female.
It's a male.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm getting an unexpected death. I feel like I'm getting unprepared for his passing. And he's telling me, I feel like there's a lot of sadness with a lot of these sessions today. And I'm trying to not take that on. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this heaviness in my heart. I feel like Quinn could have also been like, who we say Michael earlier, this really close relationship that had more, meaning than maybe even your own family. And Quinn feels as if I feel weighted down with him at the time. And he's showing me, it looks like a small dog, but it could also be a cat, which I get sometimes. And this doesn't have to be yours. And he's also talking about the walking, the hikes, getting out in nature. So if you're getting out in nature and connecting with him, that's a good thing to do. And he's validating this, or this is something that both of you did, that you were out in nature or did some hikes together. He's talking about the tattoo. So I'm assuming you may be getting a tattoo or considering one. It feels like maybe on your arm in memory of him. And he just says, thank you. Thank you for doing this. And with Quinn, I wasn't sure. I feel like a little bit of a female energy. It doesn't mean that he's gay. It just felt like that's why I was having confusion. Was it a male or female? Because I feel like he has that gentleness as well, not this dude kind of feeling for me.
Not macho.
Not macho, like, women are second class or whatever, just not that energy. So hopefully that will make sense. I'm also, for whatever reason, I'm getting chilly. So
in cold or as in chili you eat?
Chili you eat, unless it is cold. You don't like being cold, so you can use it two ways. So it could be chili dogs, chili, something about chili, or something in, Mexico, something that would be like that. So I'm really curious to see how you respond to that. Okay, well, I really appreciate it. I know we had a little bit of hiccups today, but I am so honored and grateful that everyone's here to get readings, participate, support, and be, rawa for others. And we're sorry for your losses. But like I always say, even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side. So continue following us on all of our Facebook things, like our podcast, my book, Grieving to Believing, my cards. Continue following us, and we will give you some great information to help you in your healing process. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.